Coffee myths busted. Coffee myths are everywhere, from the idea that caffeine is bad for you to the concept that all coffee is the same. But many of these myths are simply untrue. In this blog post, we'll be taking a look at 5 of the most common coffee myths and debunking them once and for all. By understanding the truth behind these myths, you can better enjoy your coffee, knowing that you're making the best decisions for your health and taste buds. Are you interested in finding out which coffee myths are total bologna? Just keep on watching this video as we debunk some of the false coffee facts you may have heard about. As always, don't forget to like, comment and subscribe. And now let's get into it. Myth number 1. Coffee is dehydrating. One of the most commonly believed myths about coffee is that it is dehydrating. While it is true that caffeine is a diuretic, meaning it causes an increase in urination, research has shown that coffee actually doesn't lead to dehydration. In fact, studies have shown that coffee can actually contribute to daily water intake. This myth is likely perpetuated by the fact that coffee does contain caffeine. Caffeine acts as a diuretic, and people often believe this leads to dehydration. However, research has proven that the amount of fluid lost by consuming caffeine is negligible and is made up for by the fluid consumed with the beverage. So don't worry, drinking coffee won't lead to dehydration. In fact, it can help you reach your daily recommended water intake. Enjoy your cup of joe guilt-free. Myth 2. Coffee gives you the jitters. Many people believe that drinking coffee will give them an energy boost, but they worry that it will also give them the jitters. While it is true that too much caffeine can cause anxiety and jitters, these effects are more likely due to individual sensitivity rather than the coffee itself. In fact, moderate amounts of coffee can actually help reduce feelings of stress and improve focus. So, how much coffee is considered a moderate amount? According to the Dietary Guidelines for Americans, the recommended daily caffeine intake for adults is 400 milligrams. This means that 2 to 3 8-ounce cups of coffee, or about 4 shots of espresso, should be enough to get the beneficial effects without causing any unpleasant side effects. The key is to find your personal balance. Everyone's tolerance for caffeine is different, so you may need to experiment to see how much coffee works for you. If you feel that your caffeine consumption is giving you the jitters, try cutting back or switching to decaf. Myth number 3. Coffee is addictive. Many people believe that coffee is an addictive substance, but this isn't true. While some people do develop a dependency on caffeine, it is not considered to be an addictive drug in the same way as substances like alcohol or nicotine. In fact, when used in moderation, coffee can have positive effects on your health. Caffeine can create physical and psychological dependence, but the levels of dependence are relatively low and not nearly as intense as with other drugs. Additionally, it's possible to quit coffee without severe withdrawal symptoms. For example, people who quit drinking coffee may experience headaches, fatigue, and irritability, but these symptoms tend to go away quickly. If you find yourself feeling jittery or anxious after consuming coffee, you may want to consider reducing your intake or avoiding it altogether. Additionally, if you feel like you're developing a dependency on caffeine, you should talk to your doctor about ways to reduce your consumption safely. Myth number 4. Dark roast has more caffeine than light roast. This is a common misconception about coffee, but rest assured that it's not true. The amount of caffeine in a cup of coffee is determined by the number of beans used, not the roast level. So, regardless of whether you choose a light or dark roast, the caffeine content will be the same. That said, there are some differences between light and dark roasts that can influence your caffeine experience. Dark roast beans have a stronger flavor and may create a more intense taste when brewed. This can make the flavor bolder, allowing you to enjoy the taste of coffee without adding additional cream or sugar. Additionally, dark roast beans tend to be denser, which can lead to a slower extraction rate and thus less caffeine in the cup. Ultimately, the decision between light and dark roast should be based on preference rather than on caffeine content. Whether you prefer a subtle flavour or a strong one, both light and dark roasts can provide an enjoyable cup of coffee. Myth number 5. Coffee stunts your growth. This is one of the most persistent coffee myths out there, and it's simply not true. Despite being a popular belief since the 1940s, numerous studies have shown that coffee does not have any effect on growth or height. This belief may have stemmed from the fact that many people drink coffee instead of milk, which can be an important source of calcium and other nutrients needed for growth. In reality, coffee is not only safe for children to consume, but it also has many health benefits. Studies have found that children who drink coffee are less likely to develop type 2 diabetes and even some types of cancer. Additionally, coffee contains antioxidants and can help protect your body from certain diseases. So, if you're looking for an excuse to justify your coffee habit, don't worry about it stunting your growth. It doesn't. Coffee is perfectly safe for both adults and children to drink, so go ahead and enjoy a cup. The myths about coffee discussed in this video are just a few of the many beliefs about this beverage that have been perpetuated over the years. Fortunately, we now have more research-backed information to help us make informed decisions about our coffee consumption. Whether you're drinking a cup of joe for its health benefits or just because it tastes good, know that it is not going to hurt you and that it can even be beneficial if consumed in moderation. With more scientific evidence to back up our claims, we can now debunk these long-standing coffee myths and enjoy our cups of Java without any worries. Did you believe any of these coffee myths before watching this video? If so, please let us know which ones down in the comments below. And don't forget to subscribe for more.